applying your makeup like it's still 2024. It's 2026 and we're heading into the summer months, so it's time to ditch your full coverage foundations and go for a glow up mature skin style. And the best part, you guys, we're using all drugstore products. I'm gonna walk you through this complete look, and when I'm not talking to you, it should only be about 10 minutes. So if you're like me and you like a full glam look, but it's summer, but a no makeup look isn't right for you either, this look is somewhere in between. If we haven't met before, hi, I'm Jody. I'm 55. Think of me as your midlife beauty bestie. If you're new here, you have joined a very supportive, kind community of women. We're just navigating the beauty process and the aging process and the intersection of those two things, because it's changing every day. Nobody prepared us for needing to be magicians as we work with our makeup in our later years of life. And while I'm not a magician, I'm here to share with you the beauty tips that I have learned along the way. All right, first thing that we want to do for this summer glow up on a affordable budget and with products that are mature skin friendly is we want to start with that underglow, that base. So it's time to ditch your full coverage foundations, and I'm just as guilty as any of you because I love my full coverage soft matte, everything that they say we shouldn't wear in our 50s and 60s and 70s. But if you prep correctly, wear whatever you want. But it is summer, you're not gonna want that thicker feel to your makeup as you get more warm. You know what I'm talking about, warm underneath the skin. So we're gonna lighten it up a little bit with some of my favorite mature skin friendly drugstore products for this easy, fun glow up look. First thing we're gonna do is go in with the L'Oreal True Match Nude. I will have all these products linked down below. I recently did a video all about tinted moisturizers and some of my favorites. I'll link that at the end of this video in case you're looking for a couple recommendations. Now I wear this in shade 2.3. You can see it's more of a serum formula. See how thin the consistency is of this? Again, this is the True Match Nude by L'Oreal. This has 1% hyaluronic acid. I love it because it is a sheer to medium coverage, but I want a little more glow for summer, so I'm gonna add the e.l.f. WOA Glow. This is an SPF of 30, so if you don't have an SPF already, then you can add something like this. It exploded in the lid, so I'd like to just pour it on there, but I can't because I didn't close it properly, apparently. We're just gonna leave that like that. Clean that mess up later. All right, I'm just gonna mix the two together with whatever foundation brush you use. This is the Nikki LaRose in 17. I like this one because it allows me to build the product up in the brush without it adding too much product so that I have kind of a globby mess. And we're just going to, oh, I've got some circles going on today. All right, good, we're gonna cover those today too. So I'm going over with, again, a sheer coverage foundation, more of a serum because I want a glow to the skin, and I'm going to ditch my full coverage matte. At least, well, who am I kidding? I'll ditch it for the summer. I can't guarantee I won't bring it back in the fall. Something about fall and a little more full coverage, yeah, I like it. So we want to lighten it up when it comes to summer, but not just any light. We want to have a glow to the skin. Now, when it comes to selecting your foundation for summer, I usually go a shade darker than I normally do because I will add a fake tan up to my neck area. And today we're going to add something to the chest so that everything blends together. I just find that I like to go just a shade or two darker in the summer. But if you do that, everything needs to match from the face, the neck, and if you wear your hair up, definitely back through here has to match as well. Now, because I carry some discoloration in my eyes and I don't want to have a full glam look, I'm gonna go back into that foundation, but not add the glow, because this time I'm just gonna do the eye area, and I do want glow there, but not everywhere. We'll add that strategically when we get to the eyes. You'll notice I have some discoloration on the inner corner of my eyes, and this coverage, even though it's a sheer coverage, you guys, it will give me enough of a coverage in that area that I don't necessarily need a color corrector. Now, if your discoloration is darker than that and you're finding that your tinted serum, your tinted moisturizer, or your lightweight foundation is not covering it, then you may need a little color corrector and or some concealer. The key is to not look overdone or over made up. It's to just look a step above a no makeup look, right? Does that make sense? Here's the discoloration before I applied that foundation, and here's what it looks like after. So pretty solid coverage for a thin or sheer foundation. And we'll add a touch of concealer at the end, but again, not overly done. Okay, so step one is the base. Now you notice the little bit of glow that you get from this, but it's not so overbearing that it looks like you have an artificial glow on your face. If you've got really flawless skin, or you like the look of your skin without adding a little bit of a tinted moisturizer, then you can add this for your SPF as well as that natural glow without having to add it to your existing foundation. All right, so step one is done. That's our base and giving it a nice healthy glow. Now we're gonna set aside our 15 shade eyeshadow palettes and reach for something a little more effortless looking. I'm gonna start with my concealer. This is the Essence Silky Blur, and I'm just gonna go on top of my eyelids all over from the inner corner on the crease all the way up. And if you weren't able to get that discoloration, this would be a good time to just put it right there. I really don't need it, but I like to brighten that area a little bit, so why not? Then take a big fluffy brush and just blend in a light coat of that concealer. And you'll notice how this step will not only neutralize any discoloration, but it gives you a really pretty base to start with that is about one shade lighter than your foundation. So you can stop there if you want. We're just gonna add a little bit of color, again, keeping this a notch above a no makeup look. This is our summer glow up. Our summer glow up for those of us with mature skin, and like I said, we'll go back to heavier coverage. This is that everyday look that we're going for, your everyday makeup look. All right, now I'm gonna go in with a liquid eyeliner. This is e.l.f.'s Velvet Liquid Eyeshadow, and it's more of a mauve, I think, than a beige, but I just want it to be a shade darker than my foundation. Kind of think about it like this. When you're pulling your colors together for this look, think about your foundation is your center shade. Your concealer, you want to be one shade lighter. Turn that around so you can kind of see. And then your eyeshadow, you want to be one shade darker. So that's the rainbow of shades, if you will, that you're going for. Eyeshadow, one shade darker than foundation. Foundation, one shade darker than your concealer. When you do that, you'll find that your makeup look has a flawless, elevated, consistent look. So I'm gonna go and put this eyeshadow on the outer half of the lid, past the crease, pulling it up from the outer corner towards the tail of my brow, and then leaving a little bit of skin just underneath my eyebrow. Same on this side, really fast and easy. The goal here is 10 minutes. And if I wasn't talking to you, you could get this done in 10 minutes. I'm gonna go with that same brush that we used to blend in our concealer. And you'll notice I'm holding the brush down here. That gives me the lightest amount of pressure so that I'm not moving that product too much. I'm really just blending. See how pretty those colors come together when it's just a little bit darker than that concealer that we used. Now I want the least amount of product in the center of my eyes because that's where I want it to be the brightest. Now, if you find that you've moved that eyeshadow too close to the inner corner, or perhaps you've used too much product and it has blended into the corner, no worries. You can just take a Q-tip, dab some of that up, and then go back in with a little dab of your concealer and brighten up just that inner corner. And for an added artificial lift, just blend everything up towards the tail of your brow. Now I'm noticing a little bit of darkness still under my eyes, so I'm gonna go back in with that concealer, just get it on the back of my hands, let it dry down just a little bit, put it on my fingers. This allows me to use the smallest amount, you guys. That's why I go from the back of my hand to my fingers. And then I just wanna go right through here and wherever you carry a little bit of darkness. Again, not going overdone, but you may need to make a few adjustments to this look to get the final look that you're after. Again, I just want a little brightness underneath here. I don't want to look like I am full glam. And some days that is hard to just put the makeup down and stop while we're ahead. But that's what we're gonna do today. And to finish the eyes, we'll curl the lashes. Grab an eyeliner. This is NYX Vivid Rich. This is in truffle diamond. All these will be linked down below, you guys, so you can find the right shade that's best for you, or you can use the shade that I'm using. You'll notice I'm just going on the outer third, using my finger to just give it a little bit of an artificial lift. We're not going for a full glam here, Jody. Just keep it light. Now to go a little dramatic on the eyes, I'm just gonna tight line right at the lash line, holding the pencil way back here because again, I want light pressure. But see the difference between this eye where you've done a little bit of tight lining, and I'm not trying to tight line for the purpose of tight lining, because on our more mature eyes, if you tight line too close to your eye, you're making your eye appear smaller. I am just trying to make it appear as though the root of my lashes is thicker and that I have more lashes, and that's not the case. So that's why I'm doing this. Now we're gonna go in with some mascara. I'm gonna use the Lash Princess by Essence. If you are on the hunt for a good drugstore mascara, I love Maybelline Firework. I talked about that all summer last year. I always go back to this one as well. It is a very good mascara, and by good I mean it doesn't transfer, it adds length and volume, and it doesn't require a bunch of scrubbing to come off. So those are things that I look for when I am looking for a mascara. All right, now you may think, Jody, let's go to the blush. We're gonna skip the blush today and we're gonna go in with some bronzer. This is the L'Oreal Lumi Bronzer. You guys, I have loved this. This is a really good dupe for the Dior cream bronzer that you've probably seen all over social media. I think this works a little better because it's a nice, got a little bit of a glow to it, where the Dior is a little bit more of a matte. Look at how pretty that glow is. And you want to apply this with a big tapered fluffy brush. This comes in one of the kits from BS Mall. I like these bamboo handles. I get these on Amazon, you guys. For $10 you get like, I don't know, 10 to 12 brushes, and they don't shed, which is why I like these. And I like the bamboo just because they're big and easier to hold. So with that, I'm gonna go right on to my bronzer and just build that everywhere. Now you can tap this on the back of your hand. I find that the formula is such a thick formula that you don't really need to tap it on the back of your hand, but you certainly can if you want. Then I'm just gonna lightly pat in a figure 8 around my face, coming into the cheeks and back up here. Just give myself a little bit of a template. See what I mean by that, by a figure 8? And then go back in and just blend that out so that you have a nice warm look to your skin. Just bronze it up a little bit. So again, it doesn't look like we've added contour. We're not trying too hard. And this bronzer, if we were to look at it, is actually a shade even darker than our eyeshadow. So as we're building those shades, so adding just that little bit of glow in certain high points of your face, knowing that we've got the WOA glow underneath, just gives a really pretty flawless bronze look. Now you can go back into this packaging, you guys, I don't love that, but somehow it exploded in the lid. We're working with it. You can always go back, get a smaller amount, and go on the high points of your cheek for a little added glow if you want. Why not? It's about to be summer. All right, now let's go to the lips. The lips are easy. It's gonna be a nice light look. Lifter liner by Maybelline. Not trying to overline. I do that for a glam look, but for an everyday makeup look, overlining looks okay for photos. Have you ever been talking to someone in person and they've overlined their lips? It just looks overlined sometimes. And I think with a look like this, where it's a soft, easy glam glow look, that can just be a lot. So I only overline if I'm gonna be on camera. Now I'm gonna go in with L'Oreal. This is number 800. This is Fairest Nude. Just in the center of my lips. And then I will blend it out with my finger. And then we need just a little bit of gloss. So Lifter Gloss by Maybelline. This is in Gummy Bear. This is a 10-minute process, you guys, I promise, when I'm not talking your ear off. You gotta know what I'm using and why I'm applying it and where I'm applying it. All right, and just to add a little touch of color, I'm gonna go in with a Color Pop. This is in the shade Frog, I think. I just wanna add a little pop of glow to the inner corner of my eye. You can put this in the center for more of a halo look, but I like it just in the inner corner. And these are a little bit glowy, little glittery, but that's okay for spring and summer. For me, it's the holidays, and then summer is the time to go a little bit glowy. I'm gonna pick up that same brush that we've been using. I should have said, this is the Angie Hot and Flashy A503. It's just a nice, large, tapered brush. Does a lot when you are working on your eyes and you don't need precision. It's a great blending brush for an easy look like this because it covers the whole eye. Whether you have hooded eyes or more deep set eyes, and you're, again, not doing precision work with multiple shades, this is a really easy tool to work with. All right, you guys, so we could stop here, but for those of you that are like me, where you're like, whatever the box is, I'm gonna push it a little bit. So if this look is one notch above a no makeup look, I feel like I wanna go underneath my eyes. So to do that, I'm gonna go back to that bronze that we used. I'm going to grab a small tapered brush. This is the Nikki LaRose in 22. I love this brush for this exact purpose. I'm gonna go in with the bronze and put it on both sides of the brush. Dab it softly to make sure that the product is evenly distributed. And then I'm gonna just go in and lay that angled brush right at my lash line and softly create a lower line. Then moving to the other side, you're gonna use the other side of that angle where the product remains. I feel like adding a little bit to the lower eye gives definition and shape to the eye. Otherwise, I feel like my eyes are just floating. Now that's me personally, because I've seen women that don't put anything on their lower lashes and it looks beautiful. I don't know, maybe it's habit. I just like to add a little bit of something to my lower lash line. You could add mascara here if you want. I'm not going to, I'm just gonna leave it right, like I haven't said that already. Yeah, I think that's what I was missing, just a little bit of shape to the eye. Now you could use the eyeshadow that you used up here down there. I just find that this was a little bit too light. It wouldn't give me the shape of an eye that I'm looking for, but I wanna stay with the colors and the tones that I have going on everywhere, so that's why I'm gonna grab this. Now you could add a little bit of a blush here. I'm not going to because I really want my eyes and my lips to be sort of the main focus and give a bronzy look to the face versus add just another touch of color by adding a blush. But if you need to add blush, hey, no judgment here. Do what makes you feel the most confident. But I'm gonna stop there, at least from the neck up. Now what I wanna do to make sure that I've blended everything together is I'm gonna grab a large fluffy brush. You guys, this is an old Sigma F50. I use this for my fake tan because I don't even know if they make this brush. I'll look for it and see if they do. I like it because it's dense from here down, and then up here it's light and not dense at all. Whether you use that mousse or you use a lotion, this blends in everything into all of those little nooks and crannies that we have on our bodies as we've gotten older. I just find a dual fiber brush like this works really well when it comes to fake tan. So I'm gonna use today the Lumi Glotion. L'Oreal Lumi was our bronze. Now I'm gonna use the Lumi Glotion for a little bit on my chest, just to blend everything together and keep up with the overall look of, yeah, glowiness. I'm using it in shade, this does come in 3 or 4 shades. I have it in shade 903. You'll want to find the shade that works best for you. It just covers up some of the imperfections. I have some freckles on my chest, not a lot, but enough that I'd like to have them not be so obvious. Go down around my light shirt, right up to the ears. It just pulls the whole look together. And that's it, your complete glow up for summer for our more mature skin in under 10 minutes using drugstore products. I think this look delivers. I hope you give it a try. If you want more information, like I said, on those tinted moisturizers, I'll link that right here for you so you can take a look at what each one of them do. Some are mineral, some are both mineral and chemical, some give you glow, some don't. So check that video out to find the one that's best for you. And I will link all these products down below in case you're looking for some shade recommendations or some product formulation recommendations that are mature skin friendly. All right, you guys, that does it for this video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. And if you're not already a channel ambassador, I would love for you to join. It's $1 a month. It's $12 for the whole year. You can cancel anytime. All right, I will see you guys in just a couple days. Bye-bye.